Well, we're eating our first hunter-gatherer meal, our day one meal. And so far, it's not bad. I got up about 5:30 to go out and hunt night crawlers. It was so cold, I think it was 37. So there were very few out. I got 2 1/4 night crawlers. So then I waited until later to look for bait by turning over logs and rocks and stuff. And I ended up with a bunch of worms. Got plenty of bait. Enough bait for today, and then probably enough for tomorrow if we end up using bait tomorrow. And we went fishing. Caught just a handful of bluegills. We fished a total of 3 different spots. I think we ended up with 5 bluegills total. And so we're eating the bluegills now. I cooked the bluegills in tin foil whole, not even gutted. And I had tried that before, and it's a way that you get a lot of meat out of the bluegill, it seems like. Kind of freaks me out to have the guts in the bluegill when you're cooking it, but it just seems like you just peel the whole bluegill apart and peel the meat out of it, and you never really have to deal with that. Because 5 bluegills, even if they're big bluegills, you're not going to get much of a meal out of that if you fillet them out.
Pretty small fillets.
Yeah. The last fishing spot, Tess, my Labrador, jumped up and snagged my fish hook and actually broke it off. She pulled down so hard that the end of the fish hook broke off. And I don't know where the fish hook is, if it's stuck somewhere in her. She didn't yike or react at all. And it didn't go well having the dogs with me fishing at the last spot. Callie jumped right in and started swimming all over the pond.
Goodbye, fish.
Yeah, which is not really conducive to fishing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have kept them.
So after fishing, Beth picked greens today.
Yep.
And what did you pick?
I went out in the back and I picked a bunch of nettle. I actually picked twice as much nettle as we're eating right now. It was so easy. And just picking just the tops, basically. Top, maybe 4 inches of the nettle plant. Wearing leather gloves, for sure. And then I actually have some really beautiful dandelion plants in a flower bed that, you know, they're just there. I did not plant them. But they didn't get mowed this week, so it was perfect. So I went and grabbed a bunch of those greens. Super easy to grab. And then, oh yeah, you grabbed watercress this morning.
Yep.
That was a little more difficult to acquire.
It was kind of mucky.
Because it's in the water.
Yep. But we found a pond. There's a pond that we already knew about, actually, that has some spring flow. Spring flow loves, watercress loves to grow around spring flow. And so I was able to pick a bunch of watercress out of that pond.
Yeah. So I blanched the nettle and the watercress. What I'm reading is you have to blanch nettle in order to get the sting out. So I just blanched that in a little boiling salt water. And then once that was out, then I threw the watercress into that for just... The watercress was probably only in 30 seconds. That's just to make sure that it's like super clean. And then I just ended up sauteing all 3 greens in some butter with a little bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of garlic. I did add some garlic for a little flavoring. And it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Normally, I'm always like afraid that like you think you're gonna have way too many greens, and then it cooks down and there's like nothing left. But this is actually quite a bit. Okay, this didn't work very well.
So hunter-gatherer challenge, day 1. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Oh, but the water.
Yeah, the water was a challenge. We've got a local spring that we went to get water from, and the water is barely trickling out of it. So it took us a while to get water. You kind of got to leave your water container there and then go do something and then come back when it's full.
Yeah, like just filling my simple water bottle probably took 20-25 minutes of me just standing there holding it.
Yeah.
That was torture.
And we could do other things. We could filter. But I really wanted to do the spring because it seemed easy.
It seemed easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, do an update again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Take care.